17 years ago, in year 2000, I said to a journalist, one day there will be 50 breweries in Quebec. Back then there was 14 or 15, and all the microbreweries laugh at me. I said, Mario, you're so optimistic. You're not in the business, you don't know how to count. That's fine, you're nice. Now there's 150, okay? So they were right, I was wrong. I like the concept of ecosystem of the micro beer market. Now you have a lot of hop farm, you have a lot of barley farm now for brewing, because barley was mostly for beef before microbrewery. Now they grow barley for brewing. And you have also in the municipality the pride that they bring. And they bring the people together. You have also the maillage, like where you have the beer, the micro cheese factory beside, or the local food industry beside, and you can pair.
And brew pubs. Brew pubs are popping up all over the city now. Here's a great example, 50 different beers on tap. A place like this here, L'Air du Temps, where I'm sitting right now, would never have existed 10 years ago. 50 different beers on tap, local brewers from different microbreweries that represent different places in the province. Like, this never could have existed 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. This is a symbol that there's something going on in the province of Quebec. People want beer. It's all about the celebration, being together. Cheers. Apart from the small 7-Elevens and the brew pubs, you have these very niche places like the Bateau de Nuit on Rue Saint-Jean. You walk in there, first of all, there's no sign. It's underground. Beer geeks, they consider that place as some of the best places that you can go discover beer. And what they have is that they have exclusive products.
Bateau de Nuit is an underground bar, even if we are at the second level. And the beer change pretty much all the time. So tomorrow you won't have the same beer menu that you had today. And what I like about my place is that brewers call me to have their beer first here at the Bateau de Nuit. I think it's really nice because we are recognized as one of the best places in Quebec. I think that the commercial beer are less interesting for most of the people because as soon as you try a beer, microbreweries beer, you won't go back to commercial beer. There are a lot of microbreweries who used to be like home brewers, and now it's getting bigger.
I think home brewing is the perfect example of an industry that's very vibrant. We're seeing more and more people wanting to brew their own beers at home. Why? Because they're discovering new styles of beers. They're discovering new ingredients. They're tasting things that they've never tasted before. That's sort of bringing their inner artist alive. It's like waking something inside of them. So they're going at home and they're trying to brew their own beers. Well, sooner or later, we're learning that these guys, they're the ones opening up the microbreweries. They're popping up all over the place. Beer is trendy. It's a fashion statement. It's what people are drinking most often now than wine. beer stores. We used to have only 2 beer stores in Quebec City for a long time. Now we're seeing these small beer specialists selling and giving customer service like I have never seen in a local 7-Eleven before in my life. It's like, tell me a little bit about that sweet tart. No, they're giving you specific information about their brewers, they're giving you feedback, and that's effervescence, that industry, that style. We're feeding on this as a society right now. I like beer geeks, and at the same time, like there's a part of them that I don't really like. I'm just gonna take one website, ratebeer.com. They have a huge impact on the industry. They can change a life of a brewer in an instant. Why? Because it's a huge community of people who really are passionate about beer. They love beer, and what are they doing? They're sharing their love for beer on the World Wide Web. In an instant, for example, they can make Oval Brewery out in the Gaspé one of the best microbreweries in Canada. And people are going haywire for their beer. They're lining up for hours in order to get their hands on the beers. And, well, word goes around really, really fast. So within an hour, it's all gone. No more Oval.
Yeah, I've seen it on Facebook, and we're from Montreal, so we came here in Quebec to get these beers.
Friends of ours know about this beer. They told us, excellent, and here we are.
My friend Alexandre told me a few weeks ago that the Oval beers were really good, but I had never the chance to taste it. So today I decided to take the day off to come here and to have the chance to buy the bottles.
So we're aware of the trends. They're looking for new trends. They're trying to pinpoint what it is that is really hot out there. But at the same time, there's a part of them that they think that they know it all, and they're not being subtle about their comments, and they're not taking the fact that those are human beings working with live ingredients.
Back then, 30 years ago, we'd say there was no snob in beer business. Now we find snob people say, I know about beer, I know the difference between this brewery and this brewery, I know who is the leader, I see that developing. For me, it's sad for me because I'm everything except that. But it's also show how the beer market has evolved. That means it's really a big market now. There's room for these people also to be part of it. The Quebec market is not saturated. The bottled part, where you buy beer, you bring it home, this getting saturated. But the microbrewery that want to be small, like small is beautiful, and want to be original, there's as much microbrewery you can start as there is bar in Quebec. So it's not saturated. You can transform any bar in Quebec into a microbrewery. So there's still a lot of market in that direction.
You know, back after Prohibition, every community had its own brewery, and then E.P. Taylor started buying up all these breweries, and then his breweries were bought by Carling and Molson, and this sort of happened, over the decades until there was no more real Canadian breweries. So now we have a vibrant scene where every community has its own brewery, and it is truly authentic and local and representative of the different tastes in the different regions of Canada. So I think it's a very exciting time for the craft brewing industry, and now it's time for Canadians to really support their homegrown beer.
What's going on here is that it's a Canadian Brewing Award and Congress, I guess. It's a weekend of 2-3 days where people meet with all the brewers that some of them won awards, some of them just attending the Congress. There's a show for like the people who sell equipment and all stuff related to brewery.
There's some exhibit here with different product we've never seen before. Some other brewery have been using it, and we're into maybe buying some new equipment. So we chat with these guys. Say, oh, that's a good stuff. Oh, no, that's not good. Don't use that. Or it's very interesting. And there's a lot of information sharing as well as feeling sharing on the event. It's very nice.
I'll coin a phrase that Steve Beauchesne from Beauce invented, I think. He calls it co-opetition. So it is kind of a cooperative competition. We are a very collaborative group in Canada. And I think if you spend any time here, you'll see lots of brewers sharing best practices, you know, some of the challenges they have and how they've found solutions to them. So the Canadian Brewing Awards goal is to celebrate excellence in the Canadian brewing industry. This year we had over 1,700 entries from over 300 breweries. We have 55 categories that are judged by, I think we had 62 judges on the team this year. So it's a big job, lots of beer to judge.
The process, it's a blind judging, so the beers are brought out with a numeric indicator on it, and then an indication of what the style of the beer is, and then the judges judge them blind, analyzing aroma, flavor, appearance, the mouthfeel, and their overall impression of the beer itself. Based on the quality of the entries that we had, the Canadian brewing scene is really, really good.
The brewery has been open in Quebec for 7 years. It's the first time we present product to a contest like this. If some guys say this beer is amazing, well, it's going to be an amazing beer from coast to coast. It's not like just 3 or 4 guys that likes it. It's something big. I mean, for us, it's very nice. Indeed, the best judge are the customers and us, but still, it's recognition from our peers. We're like kids playing hockey, waiting for the cup. If it happens, well, what else can you expect? It's fabulous. That's what you want.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Welcome to the 15th annual Canadian Brewing Awards. Here in our nation's capital, as we all celebrate Canada's 150th birthday.
Our next category is wheat beer, Belgian-style wit. And the bronze goes to Flee to Pennsylvania from Market Brewing Co. in Ontario. The silver goes to Mary Morgan from Brasserie Artisanale Korrigane in Quebec.
And the bronze goes to Long from Lincoln.
Our next category is Belgian-style double or quadruple. And the bronze goes to Nuit d'automne from Frampton Brasse in Quebec. And the bronze goes to Croque-Mitaine, DC, from Brasserie Artisanale Korrigane in Quebec. The silver goes to Amarouk from Brasserie Artisanale Korrigane in Quebec.
We're very proud of that.
That's my beer when I was young.
This recipe! Yes!
My first beer.
He made this recipe 30 years ago.
I'm very happy too. I mean, it's a beer that we previously won awards with, so it's like one more award to our board, I can say.
Cheers, everybody! Cheers!
Being recognized by beer competitions all over the world has a huge impact on breweries. It's I mean, quite frankly, it's a huge marketing force for them because it's a stamp that allows them to say, hey, we've been recognized by professional judges in the professional industry of beer judging. I mean, for the consumer, that has a huge impact. Another huge marketing tool is a label now. Nobody's ignoring the label on the beer. I mean, you walk into a 7-Eleven, the corner store, there are 100 beers in front of you. How are you going to stand out? You need to stand out with the labeling, and you need to stand out with the size of the beer, the look of the beer. Take les Grands-Bois, for example. Their labels are wicked awesome. And the beer formats, well, they are sort of bringing back that small beer bottle size from the 70s and 80s. So it's like a retour du balancier. It's like something happened then that's coming back today, but in a trendy way, and is used as marketing in order to promote their beers. I mean, it's kind of funky. It's beautiful. They're really doing awesome stuff.
We were the first ones, like in North America, to have this bottle. I think it helped us a bit to stand out in the beginning because it was the only kind of this bottle.
Stubby bottle, yeah, like old style, and the labeling is a bit old style also.
I think it's the first contact with the customer, and I think the labels represent the beer.
When you make a new label for a new beer, you want the person to feel a bit how the beer tastes through the label by just looking at it. We also try to give some kind of maybe like a noble aspect to it as well. You're gonna come to the market and you're gonna sell your beer a little higher than the commercial beer. So you want people to have a full experience, like as the taste, as the look of the product itself, and this is all really important.
We work with local artists for the labels, so most of the time we just give them the name and the overall vibe that we think about the bottle, and sometimes even no vibe, just the name. And we have a general template for our bottles, so the names are always in the same place, the information, the text, everything is always the same, but the artwork behind can be anything. So we don't take ourselves too seriously, and in fact, most of the names come from les lundis douteux in Brouhaha in Montreal. Like every Monday, it's a place you can go, and they project like crappy videos from the internet, and you can throw things at the screen and yell and everything. And pretty much all the names of the beer comes from one video or another, like Quatrième Dimension, Superpose. Sometimes it's really simple, like Ariane Brown Ale. It's just a friend of us that's named Ariane Brunel. We thought it was just funny to put her name on the bottle. So.
And she didn't thought we would put her on a tablet.
Yeah, she didn't think we were serious, but we did it, and now it's Ariane Brown Ale. But every time she goes to the store, she sees her name on the bottle.
It's not the same here because we are handcraft brewery. We are artisan brewery, so we don't bottle our products. So the marketing it's very different than a microbrewery that will bottle and put this product on a shelf beside 300 others products. I think here we don't just sell a beer. We sell an atmosphere, happiness. We sell an ambience and good service. So we will focus a lot on that. All these small details that will feel the customers comfortable and happy.
So imagine you're in the heart of a city. You have 25 different microbreweries around you. How are you going to stand out? You're going to stand out by brewing the best beers that you can, but you're also going to make your brewery a place where you can discover other things. And La Korrigane has figured that out a long time ago. They're offering an environment where you can entertain yourself too. Swing classes. They're offering courses about how to learn how to distinguish ingredients in beer. They're promoting the science of beer. They're offering an environment that is stimulating with art. They have artists exposed in a whole bunch of different forms in their brewery in the heart of Saint-Roch. They're creating reasons for people to come to them and enjoy their products. Les Grands-Bois, what makes them stand out among many other breweries, I would even say in the country, is the fact that they're putting on shows featuring world-renowned artists just on top, the second floor from where they brew.
We also do music concerts, so I am the soundman. I used to be a soundman before a brewer, so we are in our venue here. We have a show tonight, so today we've been transferring a beer and doing cleaning the brewery. Tonight you can see me at the console. After I will do the bar, and tomorrow I will brew beer, and you will see all the other guys at the bar too. It's a pretty big venue here. We make big shows. We had Patrick Watson, the Cat Empire, Tikenja Fakoli.
The name of the world-renowned artists that they were able to bring in this very small community of Port-Neuf, it's incredible almost. And the artists love that because they're in contact with the community, with the people. It's 500 people that they can set up in that showroom. And they're brewing the beer downstairs, they're serving the beer upstairs. It's the best promotional tool that they have.
Why we do some shows is just because maybe we have a great place to do it. We don't make a lot of money from the shows. It's a lot of work. It's really late. It's sometimes Friday night, Saturday night.
It brings us a lot of exposure from the outside because most of the people that come to the show are not from the region. So we have a lot of people from Quebec, Trois-Rivières, even Montreal, and even Ontario and United States sometimes.
And when you see your favorite artists in shows, it's a really good moment for us to sell our product because people are already happy.
But it's far from easy. The guys that are brewing are the guys that are doing the sound, that are cleaning up everything after a show. They're involved in everything. It's a lot of work.
I think beer and music is a good mix, and people feel it. And it's really easy for us because we make the beer downstairs and then we sell it upstairs for the show. And I think it's really unique concept in Quebec, at least, that having such a big venue with its own brewery. So people are really stumped when they come here, and after they want to taste all the beers.
Beer tourism is getting bigger and bigger in the province of Quebec. There's so many, like in the past, let's say 3-4 years, we've almost seen one microbrewery pop up every single month. Imagine that. That's how effervescent the industry is in this province. Within the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years, Quebec will be recognized as a worldwide beer tourism destination because everybody inside the country and even outside in the States are talking about what we're doing. The beer geeks are sharing that beauty and that talent with the rest of the world. And you know what? There's only one thing you need in order to understand that is a beer from Quebec. The second you drink it, you know that Quebec is a destination for beer.
People are known here in area because we have a lot of business, lots of factory and shops. And so when people come here in our area for the tourism, they are looking for stuff to do. And a lot of people, they go to the local brewery. This is what they do. So in summertime here, we see it a lot. At first, we made a small tasting room. We called it like a small bar. And so we saw that there were a lot of people that were coming at the brewery to buy our beer or try our beers. So we decided to expand the little tasting room. We have a capacity of more than 100 persons that can come here. So we figure out that people, even though if it wasn't the main idea of having people come here to buy and drink our beer, it became that we need to do that because people were showing up anyway. So
there's no town in Quebec that can be on the tourist market if they don't have a microbrewery there. They think small, they think local, and they are a source of pride in their municipality. Here, where we are in St-Casimir, see that small brewery attached to the pub here, and it's still a big brewery if you compare with the first microbrewery 25 years ago. But all the people here around are willing to taste their beer now instead of the big major brewers. So they want to stay local, and as long as they do that, they have a big good time in front of them.
We decided to start La Commission Brassicole because we wanted to invite all our friends that helped us with the brewery. We wanted to taste good beer, which wasn't that easy to find in the area.
We want to do a beer festival that's not just a beer festival. So we wanted to do something that people come and they don't just come by and taste a few beers and leave, and they don't bring their kids because it's beer and everything. So we just made a festival that we have all these beer tasting and with local foods and like a lot of music because that's what we do also. People can stay all day long, and we make a little space for kids too. So you can come by like at 2 o'clock and leave at 11 at night.
And it's free if you don't want to drink beer. You can just enter in the festival and just enjoy whatever is happening. So it's quite to change the mood of the street. We got kind of a big freedom in the artistic direction. If we like something, we call the artist or whatever, and we just propose him to be there, and that's it. It's just stuff that we like that we put on the street and that people enjoy.
We book bands the same way we brew beer. We book the bands we like to hear most of the time. We just like to give life to this place. We like to organize parties. Like we did this for a long time.
That's a big party.
if we don't do it, nobody will do. So we have to do it ourselves. Like we don't enjoy the party as much as if we were attending this party because we have to organize everything. But at the end, it's really fun, and the people really enjoy it and tell us after.
Of course, as being a regional brewery, my main dream and focus is that people in my area drink my beer, that they adopt my beer as like the regional brewery of the area. Of course, one day, hopefully, we will do some exportation all around the world, or in the rest of Canada or United States. This is probably one of the things that is going to come in the coming years. Of course, I want to keep creating new kinds of beer. With sometimes some new hybrid style or creating some new stuff that are interesting for people and hopefully win more awards for the brewery.
It's weird because we were 5 founders of the Coopérative, but for a cooperative, as definition, is not our business, it's everyone's business. So we don't really know where we are going. Like we know where we are going, but we don't know with who we are going. And like these people that will join the team, they will have a big influence on like how the company will evolve and everything. So that part we don't know, but we know that we will meet probably a good person, as what happened till we opened. So I think in the next year, what would be interesting for us is to let some part go and give it to other people that will appropriate it and transform it into whatever they want. I mean, it's not just us, it's everyone together.
My objective to the future is not to grow, it's to keep it small. Keep it artisanal. Using more ingredients that come from Quebec, that will give to our products specific, unique profile from Quebec. It's what we want, keep it small and simple and doing what we like, have fun.
What's happening right now in the province of Quebec, you can't compare it to anywhere else in the world. We are creating new things. We're mastering our techniques. We're brewing with ingredients that we didn't even know existed before. We're even going on the wild side. I mean, I'm not saying that because it's not an act of chauvinism or anything. It's like, take a beer, drink it, the taste, the feeling, the beauty that you'll experience having that beer. You'll really understand what I mean.